Hello everyone, my name is Kylie Leland and today I'll be presenting on my community of Westfield, Indiana. This is a suburb north of Indianapolis and close to the suburbs of Carmel and Noblesville. As far as the demographics are in Westfield, it's a very largely growing suburb. The population in 2019 was 43,647 residents. And since 2000, it's actually been a 369.7% increase. There are more females than males here, slightly. Females at 51%, males at 49%. The median age is 35.5%. And the estimated median household income in 2019 was 105,000 compared to the state of Indiana, which is 57,000. As far as the racial breakdown in Westfield, Indiana, I wasn't really surprised. There are more of the white population than anything else. There is 84% of white people. There are 6.6% for Hispanics, 4.1% for Asians, and 3.2% for the Black population. And then we have the rest, which are lower than 2%. The crime statistics in Westfield was surprising. Thefts are at 88.2%, robberies 1.7%, rapes at 1.7%, auto thefts at 3.4%, assaults at 1.1%, burglaries at 3.6%, and arson at 0.3%. The poverty is broken down within the races. So for the Black population, it's 21.1%, Hispanic 15.5%, Asian 9.4%, white at 3.7%, other races at 12.1%, and 6.8% for 2+ races. So it is interesting to see that the minorities live in more poverty compared to other races. So I've lived in Westfield since 2012, and it's been a very fast-growing suburb from what I can see, and so it wasn't too hard for me to find the important institutions since there haven't been that many, but the ones that have been here have made a big impact. So that includes the Westfield school system, the Grand Park Sports Campus, Grand Junction Plaza, Westfield Public Park System, and the Monon Trail. So what's interesting is Westfield was founded in 1834. Then it was incorporated as a town in 1849, and I didn't realize it was incorporated as a city in 2008, a few years right before I moved, with Andy Cook sworn in as the mayor. And a fun fact, my friend actually works at that building in that picture, which is now a wine vault. The Westfield school system, I would say, is some of the best in the nation. Surprisingly, I'm surprised that my daughter is learning things in second grade that I didn't learn until middle school. So there's quite a few schools. There's 16 preschools, 9 public schools, 12 private schools. Westfield High School is ranked a top 10 high school in Indiana, and it's in the top 4% of schools nationwide. Next, we have the Grand Park Sports Complex, which is right across the street from me. And it's a 400-acre sports complex, which brings in $1.5 billion to the city economy. And it also brings in a lot of tourists because it's 1.5 million visitors annually. And in 2016, it actually hosted the Big Ten Conference for the men's soccer tournament. And then in 2017, there was a 10-year contract that they signed with the Indianapolis Colts for their training camp. Next is the Grand Junction Plaza. This has actually not come to fruition yet. Um, it is a very large project that's been ongoing for 12 years. It's located in the middle of downtown Westfield, which isn't that large right now. It's a 6-acre multi-use park with an ice rink, playgrounds, restaurants, amphitheaters, and cafes, and it mitigates water runoffs for the city infrastructure, which I am very much in support of, that they are protecting that. And it showcases more than 24 species of trees and thousands of plants. As you can see, there's quite a few parks. There's 11 parks total, and the great thing is that there's splash parks, the splash pads for kids. There's also dog parks. There's paved pathways, so it is very family friendly. My family and I go there all the time with our dog. It's a lot of fun. And this is the first place I've lived in where there is a cultural trail. It's called the Monon Trail. It's 24 miles and it goes through Westfield, Carmel, and Indianapolis. And a lot of people use it for roller skating, biking, running, walking. We often walk our dog there. And it's a cultural trail and it connects to different restaurants and art districts in Indianapolis and Carmel. I would say that overall, Westfield is a pretty great place to live, and it was rated number 6 on Money.com's 2020 list of the best places to live in America. And according to the article in Seeking a Good Community, one of the things that's important is safety. So with it being a growing community, there was increasing traffic. So several roundabouts were built to help and accommodate that while also protecting the environmental infrastructure. Um, and the crime is very low, as we saw in the statistics. For goods and services, there are very low poverty rates. With it being a growing community, I feel like there is a lot of access to free resource and goods that people can use. As far as interrelatedness, there are always free community events going on. There's different churches. It is always mostly Christian and not a lot of other religions, but it is again growing. So hopefully that'll be more in the future. And then we have the commonality of values and goods. And I would say the city has done a good job of having, when they build these new infrastructures, to accommodate the growing population and to preserve the environment. And as far as opportunities, they are here and they're growing. The growing population creates more jobs, opportunities, theaters, parks, entertainment, and cultural events. I would say that the only reason that Westfield is not the best community to live in is that there is a lack of diversity, and it is a primarily Caucasian population. So I do feel like there needs to be more cultural training, more sensitivity to the minority populations. There's a lack of wealth distribution, so there's a lack of access to resources. The houses are at $300,000 and up. Not everyone can afford that. And so, with the growing population, we need to create cultural and diverse events and affordable housing. Thank you for listening.